think I am going to begin. Welcome to the live randomization for the Niswonger Foundation's Rural Life Grant. We're very excited to be able to do this live and make sure that the entire process is transparent for everyone. I wanted to thank everyone who has signed up to participate in this project. Overall, we were able to include 72 schools who have volunteered to participate in the project for the next several years. If you participated in any of the recruitment sessions earlier in March, you know that this was a grant funded by the U.S. Department of Education, and part of that grant was focused on rural schools. And so of the 72 schools that signed up for the project, 44 are designated as rural. Oh no, I'm getting a message that Richard Kitzmiller can't hear me. Hold on just a second. Oh, no, now he says that I'm okay. All right, so I will continue. As I was saying, this is a project that was funded with a rural focus, and across the schools who volunteered to participate, 44 are designated as rural and 28 as non-rural. And this is important because we needed to have over half of the schools be rural, and that's one of the Census Department's urban-centric locale codes. So across the schools, we want to make sure that by random chance, we don't randomly get all 28 non-rural schools and only 16 rural schools. So we are going to be doing our random assignment within the group that's designated as rural and then within the group that's designated as non-rural. Just to quickly walk you through what you're going to be seeing today, we have the list of 72 schools. We don't have the names on the list at all. It's just their NCES ID numbers. I'm going to assign random numbers to each of these schools. Then I'm going to take that list with the random numbers that we've just generated and assigned to each school, and I'm going to sort the list first by whether the school is rural or non-rural, and then by the newly generated random number. Then within that list, once we sort it, we're just going to assign every other school to treatment or control. And to be as random as possible, we've decided that if the very first random number, once we've sorted in order, is odd, we're going to start with treatment. If the first number is even, then we'll start with control. So if the first number is odd, it will just go treatment, control, all the way down the list of 72 schools. So without further ado, I'm going to pull up the Excel file. And like I said just a second ago, I just have the NCES school ID. I have whether or not it is a rural or non-rural locale code. And here in column C, this is where I'm going to generate random numbers. So I've just added in a column header in column C for a random number. I'm going to use a function in Excel, which is a random number generator. Okay, I'm going to pause and wait for, I forgot that I have a 3-second delay between what I'm doing and what you should be seeing. I'm waiting for confirmation that my screen is showing. Let's see, Richard, are you seeing the Excel sheet? I just want to make sure before I start anything that people can see. Okay, Richard says that he can see the Excel sheet. I didn't want to get ahead of myself. So with the Excel sheet, you see column A is the NCES school ID, column B is the rural code, and then in column C, I'm just going to generate random numbers using an Excel function for random numbers. It's just rand and then open and close parentheses. Now I'm just going to fill down. You see the very first number popped up. I'm going to click on the cell and then fill down through the list, and magically a bunch of random numbers appear on the screen. You can see I'm just going to scroll down the screen. All 72 schools have random numbers now. Scrolling back up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these random numbers, and because I used a function, I want to paste the value back in so that when I go to sort things, the numbers that were just assigned remain the numbers that were assigned. So I just copied this column. Now I'm going to paste special, and I'm going to paste it back in as a value. So now we have the school IDs, the rural status, and a random number. I'm going to take the entire file, as I said before, and I'm going to sort. I'm going to sort first by EIR status, or EIR rural status, yes or no. I'm going to add a second filter for sorting, and then I'm going to sort by the random numbers. So I'm going to sort smallest to largest for the random numbers. So now everything has been sorted. You see the non-rural schools in column B first. You see the first 29 rows, so the 28 schools, non-rural, looking all the way down, and then the next set of 44 are rural. The random numbers that we generated in column C, those are sorted in order, lowest to highest. I'm going to click on cell C2 to see if it's an odd number or an even number. And so looking at cell C2, it's an odd number. It ends with a 9. Just looking up in the full number bar, there you go, yes. It ends with a 9, so it's an odd number. That means we're going to start assigning row 2. That is going to be a treatment school, and it's just going to go treatment control, all the way down for all 72 schools. In cell D1 right now, I'm just typing treatment or control, and we're just going to assign. I actually, over the weekend, made a list of treatments and controls. It just goes TC, TC, all the way down for 72 so that you wouldn't have to watch me type that in. So as you see, so D2 is T, D3, C, T, C, T, C, all the way down. I'll just scroll so that you can see. It really just goes TC, TC, down through all 72 schools. So now we've assigned random numbers to each school. We've sorted by rural and non-rural status, and then we just assigned every other treatment or control. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sort again by the NCES school ID so that we can reveal which schools ended up with T's and which schools ended up with C's. Now I'm just going to sort by the NCES school ID and then by nothing. So I'm sorting just by the NCES school ID number. And I have another file, another tab that has the NCES school IDs, all of the other information about the schools, and I'm just going to copy the list of schools in my NCES data sheet. It's already sorted by NCES school ID. And now I'm just going to paste into column E the school names. And you saw the NCES school ID, the first one ends with 479. That was East Ridge Middle School. If I go back to the NCES data tab, again, you see the NCES school ID matches with the school name. And we can look at any of those. So you can see that the NCES school ID matches up with the school names. Going back to our randomization tab, you can just look at all of the schools. Now I'm going to sort by the treatment or control status so that we'll see all of the control schools and all of the treatment schools. So sorting by treatment or control. And this is the big reveal, the control schools, the schools that will, be serving as the comparison for the first 2 years, but will have the opportunity for the program in the 2020-21 school year. You see those schools listed here in column E. So we have 36 control schools. And we're also going to have 36 treatment schools. The treatment schools are going to begin with the program pretty soon over the summer and starting in the 2018-2019 school year. And after this call ends today, all of the schools that have volunteered to participate, all 72, the principals will each get an email from the Niswonger Foundation letting you know if you are assigned to treatment or control. This was being recorded today, so anyone can come back and look and see the entire process. You can see that we made these assignments. The treatment schools will remain as treatment schools for the 2018-19 school year and the 2019-20 school year. The control schools, as I said before, will have the opportunity for the program starting in 2020-2021. And all of the schools are going to be participating in data collection throughout this project. And we really appreciate everyone's willingness to be part of the project, and we're excited to get started. If there are any questions about the randomization, I'm happy to answer questions as they come up. If there are questions about the program, you should definitely direct those to Richard Kitzmiller and Richard Bales at the Niswonger Foundation. But that is the entire process of randomly assigning schools. We didn't know the school names before assigning them into treatment or control. It really is a random process. And we're looking forward to everything getting started. So thank you everyone for joining and viewing this process as it happened live. Thanks.